Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So I heard a feminist say, and now you'll see it in the community posts I'll do. She said essentially, I am more than a vessel for pregnancy. And this type of demeaning language shows you their lack of respect for their maker and their rigid, cruel arrogance towards life itself. Our bodies as women are portals for souls to come into this dimension. I want you to think about that. We literally labor souls into this reality by the permission of Allah. I want you to think how miraculous that is. These feminists will be proud of a stupid paper 20 people will read. They'll be proud of getting an assignment in on time for their boss. They'll be proud of their stupid car, of their high heel brands. But then we'll say, oh, we're creative. We're more complex than just pregnancy. But I would ask you, what is more complex than pregnancy? You develop a placenta. You have a heartbeat other than your own inside of you. The tissues form, the veins form, a human brain forms inside of you. The struggles you go through, you feel your baby wiggle, stretch, punch and kick, have hiccups. You put your hand on your belly and you can feel your little one there, moving. You can look at your stomach, your abdomen, and see the skin moving from your little one having a fun time. You go to the hospital, you sweat, you ache, you endure, and then suddenly the doctor hands you your little one who shares your DNA, who you grew from a tiny little thing. Each week, Allah enfolds flesh upon flesh onto the bone. The eyes begin to work, the baby's taste buds, the ability to hear and see. Your baby will come from the darkness of the womb, through your pelvic bone, out the birthing canal, and into an entirely new reality. Then your body will make food that child can survive on solely for 2 to 4 years. And you nurse that baby, and the baby stares at you, loves you, adores you, can give you the strongest love that you could ever have in your life. No one will love you more than your child. Your child will cry for you. When your child has a nightmare, they will seek you. When they're crying, you can soothe them. This is something that cannot be degraded by a wicked, cold-hearted, bitter feminist. To say we're more than just vessels. A ship is a vessel, and it brings valuable cargo to the shore for people's sustenance and comfort. Looking at your body as a vessel for the human soul, for the human species, is not something negative. It's just shocking sometimes how these women are so wicked to helpless babies, to degrade the value, to degrade the miracle. It's so dangerous because we used to venerate fertility, be happy that children were being born. But today, you're like, oh, pregnancy, ugh. It's like, what is better than pregnancy? What is a bigger accomplishment? Your stupid diploma that I can tear into pieces and blow away in the wind, that you got $100,000 of debt in, isn't gonna go by your grave when you pass away and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to place flowers there to mourn you, to pray for you. Your classmates will forget about you. You are nobody. But your beautiful little child, who you grew, pushed out, nursed, guarded, protected, nurtured and loved, educated. If you did a good job, and Allah will reward you with a merciful child who will love you, will be there when you're in your wheelchair. This is powerful. That is the most amazing things. People will watch an elephant give birth, a sperm whale, a lioness, and be like, wow, this is amazing. Look at that cute little lion cub. And then turn around and degrade a human baby in the process of motherhood. And then feminists say they're the champions of women. You cannot be a champion of women if you degrade pregnancy and motherhood. It is such a noble thing. The fact that Allah allows you to be able to put your hand on your womb and feel your little one in there. And when your little one is born, to look into their eyes for the first time. That is beautiful. And so, to degrade that entire miraculous, delicate process as just pregnancy is ugly and filthy. And the women who talk like this are not wife material or mother material, and men should run away from them as fast as they can. And then these women turn around and blame men when their own tongues, when their own nastiness, their own callousness is what drove the men away. If you want to have children, why would you want to have children with a woman who talks about pregnancy in such a dirty way? There is nothing wrong with a man saying, I want to have children around me when I'm old. I want grandchildren, and I want a woman who can provide that. It's okay that men want to have children. It's much better than a man saying, I just want to be able to dip and dive in every woman and then toss them aside when I'm done and then go party with my boys. No. A man who has a purpose, who wants children, wants to provide for children, has a different goal when he goes to work. He goes to work wanting to provide for his little ones, cares about his little ones. But if he doesn't have children with a woman, and she's just a good pair of tits and ass, as we call it, pardon my vulgarity, but it's true, and her attitude is so-so, well, what's the bond? Yes, men now, unfortunately, especially in America, they ditch their kids, and they run off with another woman, and another woman, and another woman. You know, like my dad did that. I understand. This is very sad. But there are men who, when they have children, they level up. They become more mature. Their perspective on the world changes because now they see their children staring back at them and their heart becomes soft. And they'll love their children intensely and want to do the best they can to protect them from the evils of this world. So, when a man sees a woman, his wife, pregnant, and he has mercy upon her, he says, I have to be kind to her because she's hormonal, she's moody, her feet are swollen, her hands are swollen. Let me go get her a pizza. Let me go get her something to make her feel comfortable. Men will be softer because they don't want your emotional state to hurt the baby. And they are going to take care of you and go to work so you can stay home and just be happy and safe and content away from criminals and thugs and killers. And to be able to stay home and pray and grow a beautiful baby and enjoy your pregnancy as comfortable as you can. There's nothing wrong with women loving pregnancy, being proud of the fact that their body had the capacity to grow a human. More and more women now are having trouble getting pregnant, and men's sperm counts are horrible. And now you see more and more people getting worried and recognizing that fertility is a gift. It's a mercy and an honor. And then you have women who get excited in their birth, and Allah revokes their gift, and they have to still push out that baby, and it hurts their heart because they realize what they lost. Now I understand. Feminists love and glorify and adore abortion. They love thinking of the idea of little tiny babies being pulled apart. They don't have mercy. They see it as a clump of cells, not even human. A woman's pregnant, they think, so what? They lack wonder, appreciation, and their love thermometer is not even working. So if you're a woman and you're saying to yourself, I'm more than a vessel for pregnancy, how dare you? How dare you degrade the whole magnificent process? And when you really love a man, you'll enjoy growing his baby. And even if he turns on you, it's still you and your baby. It'll be you and your baby against the whole world. The nights where you're alone, if it's your first baby or your second or your third, and that little precious being is tiny in your hands, looking at you. I mean, you can't imagine how strong that bond is. And if that little one is 4 months old and Allah takes it back, the memories you had with that child will stick with you to the day you die. Not your classes, not your coworkers' compliments or your manager's approval. But when you're old in your rocking chair and you want to visit the grave of your baby, you'll remember the days you had with that child, looking at their pictures, remembering their little laugh, their tiny little nose, the look in their eyes when they looked at you. And you'll know that your body grew that baby day after day. And so I would encourage men and women, if you find yourself around women who say, I'm more than just a vessel for pregnancy, this is a broken soul that you are witnessing, and someone who is not wife or friend material, someone who has misunderstood and yet refuses to acknowledge the magnificence of that. It's amazing how these feminists will watch a chicken hatch from an egg, a snake, a crocodile hatch from an egg. They'll watch a giraffe give birth or a horse birth, but then turn around with this evil eye upon a human being, their fellow women, and say, that's just a child. That's just pregnancy. Tell me what's more evil than that. Beware of those types. Your body is a portal for souls to come into this reality. Allah has given you that responsibility, ability, and duty. And it is fantastic. Feminists have eroded the magnificence around it. They've eroded the honor around it, diminished it. So take it back. Don't let them brainwash you. Don't let them trick you with their hatred in their heart because they haven't gotten picked by a man yet. Or they're still lost in the delusion that their career is everything. No. Be wise. Love your pregnancy. Appreciate your capacity to get pregnant. Don't get an abortion. Love your fertility. Because none of us know when we'll go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every day you spend with your child is a blessing. And Allah guide us all.